The steelhead fishery on the Wisconsin side of Lake Michigan has quietly grown into a thing of beauty. Mark and Jake Romanack fish out of the port of Sheboygan, using Wolverine tackle silver streak spoons fished in combination with leadcore lines. Lake Michigan is alive and well. You just have to know when and where to set your lines.
We hooked up. Whoa. I think I might have that drag a little tight. Let's back that off just a little bit. There we go. That's more like what we're talking about. Woo, baby. All right. Fun stuff here. And it is a beautiful morning on Lake Michigan. And I'm watching the sun come up, and it feels weird because it's on the wrong side from what I'm used to seeing as far as being the shoreline. Whoa, that's a jumper back there. That is a jumper. Jump, 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 and jump some more. Look at that.
Gotta love that.
Well, I'm a Michigan boy, and when I look to the east on Lake Michigan, I'm used to seeing the shoreline. I'm used to seeing the sand dunes. And when I look east here, all I see is nothing but open water. And when I look west, I see the lovely land called Wisconsin. We're out of Sheboygan, Wisconsin for this week's trip. And man, we are hooked up already. Jake, I'm gonna need a little assistance
help you with
there.
the board here, Dad.
Perfect.
There you go.
That is perfect, and thank you. Whoa, and he is an angry fish. Lots of jumping going on out there. That gives me a pretty good indication what I've got hooked up here, but I don't want to spoil the surprise just yet. I'm pretty sure I know what I've hooked here, but it could be a couple different species. Wow. I'm telling you, that's a lot of fun.
That's a lot of chrome right there,
That
Dad.
is a lot of chrome.
A little closer. Nice steelhead, Dad. Beautiful steelhead.
That's a lot of chrome right there. I love it. I love it. Great Lakes steelhead, it doesn't get much better than that, and they don't get a heck of a lot better than that. That's a good quality fish right there. What a way to start our day. I love it. I'd like to do a little quick shout out to our buddy Pat Camerton. He is with a company called Wolfpack Sport Fishing, and he's the one that gave us a call and said, Mark, the fishing's really good. You need to get over to Wisconsin, get yourself a cheesehead hat, and go catch some steelhead.
Fishing's been phenomenal. We've been seeing a lot of rainbow trout, king salmon mixed in, coho salmon, and lake trout. Good mixed bag. This year has been phenomenal for size. We've been seeing some of the biggest fish we've seen in a long time, especially on an average size. So yeah, it's been very, very good.
Got an idea
A nice spinning glowfish.
An idea what this might be. Take a peek here. I'm thinking maybe that's going to be a coho. What do you think?
Coho looks like, yeah. There it is.
It don't look like much, but I'm telling you, that is the best eating fish in the Great Lakes right there. Unbelievable. It's kind of cool. It got him on a spinning glow.
Special considerations are provided by Trailmaster Trailers and Daiwa Corporation. Special considerations are provided by ProPure, ruthlessly effective bait scents.
You know, in recent years, there's been a lot of gloom and doom about the Lake Michigan trout and salmon fishery, but I'm here to tell you there is still a lot of great fishing to be had on Lake Michigan. And it maybe isn't the same as it was in the glory days, but it is still very good and very worth your while to get out and do a little bit of this fishing. Ooh, he's a jumper, Jake. He's a jumper.
I'll help you get the board off here, Dad.
There, appreciate that.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
That's a high fish now too, right?
That was a, whoa, look at him go. Look at him go. That's a 3-color. And when we say 3-color, what we're referring to is how much lead core line we have on our reel. And we're going to be running a lot of spoons on a lot of lead core today. Some 3 colors, some 5 colors, some 7 colors. Is what we'll most likely be using today. At least that's what looks like it's going to happen. And spoons are always a great presentation with lead core. In fact, anytime we're using lead core, you can fish lead core with just about any presentation you want, but spoons are kind of our go-to. We can go fast, we can cover water, and find fish. And that's what it's about, all this great water out here. There's not fish everywhere. You gotta be able to move around and you gotta be able to cover water in order to find concentrations of fish. And that's what this board program with spoons and lead core is all about. That's another nice fish.
Yeah, that's a beautiful fish,
Man, that's
Dad.
a beautiful fish.
Keep
That
them
is a
coming right
beautiful
here
fish.
if you can.
Oh, I'd love to be able to.
Nice fish,
I love
Dad.
the
What
steelhead.
a gorgeous steelhead.
Steelhead are absolutely got to be some of the most awesome fish in anywhere in the country. And we're so blessed here in the Great Lakes that we have these fish. There's a reason why they call them chromers. My goodness, what a beautiful fish. Absolutely stellar.
I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take that one.
Getting a little crazy around here.
I will gladly take your fish right here. In fact, why don't you take that spoon for me?
Okay.
We're gonna swap all colors, but don't have enough time. We got fish on.
Well, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Well, we'll try to keep a cool head here and see what we can get done.
You know, I handed my dad that spoon, and I was changing out colors, which when you're trout and salmon fishing, you need to do that a lot. Working your gear makes a big difference. If you catch a fish with one color of a spoon, if you don't have the exact color, that's okay. I look for the colors, and what I mean by that is if there's some greens in that spoon, try to put some more greens out there. Maybe it's blue on that particular day that seems to work really well, so getting some more blue colors out there. But in the world of trout and salmon fishing, you're kind of looking at just a few colors that really day in and day out produce. It's going to be those greens, maybe some blues, and I've had a lot of success with purples also. And now there's a lot of other color options, but day in and day out, those are the 3 colors that I kind of choose from. And if I do catch a fish on, say, a green spoon, I try to put something with some more green out there. And it really seems like day to day, these fish change their mood and change what they like to look for when it comes to spoon color. But my dad happened to catch a fish on a green spoon, so I was in the process of putting another green spoon out there, and we ended up catching one on this. And you know, one of the things that you want to keep in mind too is that these fish are all over the water column, and when you're targeting like fish like steelhead that are higher in the water column, orange is another really good color to look for. So if you want to look at orange maybe higher up in the water column, some greens and blues a little bit deeper, you'll do really well in the Great Lakes, and especially fisheries right here like Lake Michigan. He's still playing nice.
Getting a good look at him, I'll tell you that much. He ain't giving up. Got him, Jake.
Nice.
Beautiful, beautiful fish, man.
I was waiting for him to jump at the boat. That one wasn't nearly as acrobatic. He didn't jump as many times, but that's good. I want to keep him in the water behind the boat.
Well, Jake, you can hold him up and show him off to the camera. I'm going to set some more lines because I got nothing on my side.
Wow. Look at that fish, Dad. That is a gorgeous steelhead. About as pretty as they get right there. You can see this spoon. He pretty much annihilated that spoon. They're not supposed to look like that. He bent it up pretty good. So we're going to have to switch that one out. You know, a lot of guys will try to bend the spoon back. But let me tell you, spoons are pretty cheap in the big scheme of things. This one did its job, and unfortunately, it didn't make it through the battle. So I'm going to swap that spoon out, get a fresh spoon down there, try to duplicate the color, get it back out, hopefully get a couple more of these.
Special considerations are provided by Cisco Fishing Systems and Striker brands. Go early, go late, go prepared. Additional considerations provided by Fishhawk Electronics. Trolling without a fishhawk is called boating. Eagle Claw presents the 411 on fishing.
Hey, I'm Mark Romanack, and at Fishing 411, we just about live in our rain suits. One of the problems with rain suits, they're a necessity of course, but one of the problems is they tend to be made out of materials that are stiff and bulky, makes it hard to cast and enjoy a day of fishing. And that's why I like the adrenaline suit that I'm wearing today. This is produced by Striker brands, and the fabric has kind of a give to it. It's stretchy, which allows you to cast and fish all day without being fatigued. But it goes beyond that. It's got some other unique features. For example, this is a 100% waterproof suit, so you don't have to worry about getting wet. It also breathes, which means that you're going to be comfortable and cool, even warm, even hot days, you're going to be very, very comfortable. Some of the features you're going to want to look at here that I think are important. Inside the cuffs here, you can straighten the cuffs down real tight like this, okay? You can use the Velcro so you don't have to worry about any water getting in or any cold air getting in. Also, there's a neoprene cuff inside that guarantees that when water gets on your hands and your jacket, it's not going to run down into the elbow of your jacket, keep you nice and dry that way. So those are nice features. Also, what about these YKK zippers? Throughout the entire jacket, you have these waterproof zippers. Here you got a nice waterproof pocket for your cell phone. Every single zipper on the jacket is a waterproof zipper, so you don't have to worry about any water getting in that way. Plus, they're very functional. They got these pull tabs on them, which make them easy to grab and open, easy to grab and close. So you're not fighting with your zippers all the time in order to function the jacket. One of the other really cool features is the hood. You can pull it up and it has three-way adjustability, and the nice thing about that is you can cinch it down tight over your ball cap so when you're running, the hood doesn't blow off. That's always annoying when you're running from one spot to another. Your hood blows off and your head gets all soaking wet when it's raining. That won't happen in the adrenaline suit. Not only is this suit going to keep you dry and comfortable, look at this new Veil Camo. Man, it looks sharp. So you're going to look good on the water and you're going to catch more fish. Check it out online or go to your local retailer.
He's on the stacker. That's so cool. Trying to still pull tight to him here. There we go. Now we're tight. That fish was out of the air before I even had it off the downrigger ball. Oh, off he comes.
That's still pretty fun though.
Wow, that was so cool. That fish came on a stacker. You see it came on this spoon right here. Fish bit that spoon right there. And that fish was up out of the air before I could ever get that rod out of the holder. I just simply couldn't hardly catch up to him, but wow, that was cool. Steelhead are an acrobatic fish, that's for sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a stacker. And basically I'm going to set my downrigger first. What I got on my main line is a spoon. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my main line, I'm going to put that spoon about 40 or 50 feet away from the downrigger ball. And what I like to do is put a little twist in the line, right here. That just makes the line release from the downrigger ball easier. I'll reach over and I'll grab this offshore clip. And I put the twist of the line right inside the clip, just like that. Now I'm going to set the downrigger just like you'd ever set a downrigger. To start letting it down. And in this situation, I'm going to let it down about 10 feet. And then I'm going to add what's called a stacker. And a stacker is a pretty simple presentation. It's another spoon. It's a 6-foot long piece of fluorocarbon. On one end of the fluorocarbon, you have a snap swivel. And on the other end of the fluorocarbon, you have just a cross-lock snap. And then I go ahead and I put an offshore release on there, and I'll explain why I do that. So now what I do is I take my actual main line and I clip the snap right to the line, and then I go ahead and I take this offshore release and I clip that on the line. Now it's stuck there. So when I flip this into the water, now what I've just done is I've created 2 spoons on one rod. Now when I let this down, if you can picture it, I have a spoon that'll be down there about 40 feet, and then I'll have a spoon down there about 30 feet. So 10 feet above, I have another spoon. You're not going to catch a ton of fish on your stackers, but throughout the course of the day, it might get you an extra 2 or 3 fish.
Man, we're having a lot of fun today. Look at this weather. You don't often see the big pond this flat. This is just stellar. Absolutely glass smooth. Keep him in the water. I get nervous when they get close to the boat because that's when they can really throw the hook. I'm gonna maybe just take him on this side, Jake, if you don't mind.
Land him on the side.
I mean, normally we don't do that, but that's where he wants to be. Let's do it. Take them where they want to be.
Little king.
Our day just keeps getting better. We're getting a really nice mix of fish today. We've had a coho, we've had several nice steelhead, and now we're adding a chinook to the mix. Man. Awesome fishing here today in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Awesome fishing.
Special considerations are provided by Precision Trolling Data and the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association. Special considerations provided by the Ultimate Sport Show Tour, Michigan's elite sport shows.
You know, one of the most important pieces of technology that you're going to want to invest in when it comes to trout and salmon fishing is a product called the fishhawk. And what the fishhawk does is it gives us speed down at depth, but more importantly, it also gives us temperature down at depth. And if you know anything about trout and salmon, you know that they're very temperature sensitive and they're also very speed sensitive. And the reason for that is we have a lot of current in the Great Lakes. So when you're trolling and you look at just your surface speed, a lot of times down at depth that is different. A lot of times you're going much slower down at depth. So what happens there is you don't have very good action on your spoons, rotators, all the different presentations that we like to fish as trout and salmon fishermen. So when I talk about speed, when it comes to trout and salmon fishing, I'm talking about speed down at the ball, so down at depth. And a lot of times you can have 3, 4, 5/10 of a mile an hour difference, which is all the amount of difference it's going to take not to get bit in a day of fishing. So you want to watch your speed, and you can see right here on the graph I have it 2.5 miles an hour right now. That's about on the top end of what I like to go for speed. I like to stay anywhere from that 2.2 to 2.5 miles an hour down at the depth. The other really important thing is temperature, and trout and salmon are very temperature sensitive. And what I like to look for is that water anywhere from the high 40s to mid 50s seem to be pretty much ideal for chasing these fish. So what I do is I drop the ball down until I find that ideal temperature, and then what I can do is I can use whatever I got to use to get that presentation down to that depth. So the fishhawk gives you speed at depth, it gives you temperature at depth, and it catches you a lot more fish. I grew up on the Michigan side, fishing all the Michigan ports. In recent years, the Wisconsin fishing has just been incredible, and they've had a lot of good opportunities for not just king salmon, but their coho fishing has been really good, and their steelhead fishing has been world class. So we definitely wanted to get over here and experience this side. And it's not just Sheboygan that is the port that you can come here on this Wisconsin side and fish. This whole shoreline is incredible, and there's a lot of great opportunities. But Sheboygan is really easy to get to. The nice thing about it is it doesn't seem like there's a lot of like steep structure where you have to keep your boat in a particular spot. It's a little bit more wide open out here, and so basically what we're doing is we're putting a lot of equipment out, we're putting a lot of gear out. Right now we're fishing 8 rods, spreading them out and just covering a lot of water, and we're definitely finding fish throughout the day. Take a look at that steelhead. What a gorgeous fish. You know, anyone that knows me knows that I like to catch steelhead when they're out in the big water. You get to troll for them with big equipment like we're trolling for today. I'm not a huge river steelhead guy, but that's okay. That gives it for guys that want to fish the river. But when they're out here in the big water like they are today, man, they're so much fun, jumping all over the place, and they don't get much better than that one right there.
I'm trying to think when the last time I had an opportunity to fish on Lake Michigan that was this calm. I mean, it's like you could walk from here back to Michigan. It is extremely calm today. You just don't see that very often, and it's a blessing when you hit it out here like this. Great fishing in flat, calm water.
Kind of makes it seem like we should just ran across this morning, huh?
There you go. We could have just
across.
launched at Ludington, Michigan, and just scooted right straight across here. That's what we should have did. It's what, 54 miles or something like that? Piece of cake, right?
No big thing.
You know, gas is only a little over $2 a gallon. We could afford that. Whew, don't want to touch that rigger line, that's for sure.
A little bit closer, Dad.
Oh man, that's a heavy fish. That is a big steelhead. Spoons off in the net.
Nice fish, Dad.
I must be living life right today because that fish could have just as easily been gone. Is it getting any better than that?
That's a gorgeous
Can
fish.
you duplicate that kind of iridescent greenish color of a steelhead? It is the most beautiful color there is. Man, what a gorgeous fish. Hey, my name is Mark Romanack and you've been watching Fishing 401. You get a chance, find yourself to Sheboygan, Wisconsin sometime in the month of June and get yourself some chrome like this. See you same time, same place next week.
Closed captioning is provided by Lakeside Motorsports, Michigan's premier marine and power sports company. Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, Lowrance Electronics, Starcraft Marine, Yamaha Outboards, Yakima Bait Company, Niagara Falls, USA, Smooth Moves, and Jay's Sporting Goods.
That's so cool. Trying to still pull tight to him here. There we go. Now we're tight. That fish was out of the air before I even had it off the downrigger ball. Oh, off he comes.
That's still pretty cool.